I don't know how to fucking say it.
What's going on, boys? I know everyone has had questions and concerns with regards to callouts and everything, especially with my most recent videos that I had with regards to callouts. Now I figured, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and do a short video just kind of covering the basics on what to expect, what to do, what your expectations should be. I figured I was going to start making a small series on how to SpeedQB, getting into the nitty-gritty of everything, starting with callouts, because I feel like those are the most important aspects of any tournament, especially if you already got a team, you got your feet wet or whatever, and you need a little bit more insight on how to prepare for the next tournament.
Hey, communicate, boys, communicate. Where they at? Snake one.
Right in front of me, I have the most recent SpeedQB loadout at Tac City. I believe the event just occurred about a month ago, but it's fairly basic. The rule set, the layout, and everything is so easy to understand. It's a little bit more friendly for newer players, and it doesn't hurt their pocket as much as, you know, some other events or whatever. SpeedQB is pretty much known worldwide with regards to the competitive scene for Airsoft, and I feel like this is going to be the main league that I'm going to use with regards to getting into competitive play. Now, the easier method is just to, of course, get into paintball, because that sport in itself transitions so much more better into Airsoft than Airsoft into paintball. The FPS in Airsoft is a little bit more faster than it is for paintball, so that's something to, you know, take into consideration. With that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. So I have my trusty Wacom tablet here. We have our layout. You already have your team. You're going to go in and say you have your guys. You guys are going to start at the break, right? This is the break. Typically, these formats are a 5v5 format in which you guys will all have to go either eliminate one another for the points or eliminate enough people so that way you're able to get the flag, which is in the middle, and communicate your way to the other side to get that flag to their bunker. That's usually the main format with SpeedQB, is a flag 5v5 elimination. Now the rules change little by little every year because equipment does change, playstyles change, or the rules are going to adapt to that over time. So, you know, get ready, be sure you guys are up on top of the rule set and everything. You guys are coming off the break. You guys have 5 guys on the field. The most typical bunkers that anybody will go in a 5v5 are the back 3 over here. But these are the bunkers that are going to be able to communicate with any front guy that might be here or even here. Because even though you guys are going there too, it's most likely that the other enemy team is going to be on those bunkers as well. Based on the familiarity with the layout, you already see there's specific shapes, specific designs for each bunker. That's going to make it a little bit more easy for you to for you guys to communicate certain bunkers a little bit more easier. Now I know with callouts it becomes a little bit more confusing because it's like, wow, do I have to name each and every bunker? Well, one way to look at it is you cut off half the field, right? You're gonna use this side of the field that you guys are looking at to name bunkers. So in total, it looks like out of this layout in general, we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 bunkers, but we're gonna break it down just a little bit more easier for you guys to understand. Normally you wouldn't want to make bunkers for your side, but if you want to be extra cautious, you definitely can. The reaction time may not be fast enough for you guys to cover somebody that's gonna do a sweep, so that's why we're only gonna concentrate on this half for now. I'm going to go ahead and start on this closer side of us because we see some familiar shapes here. Triangles. And what do those triangles usually look like to a lot of people, especially Americans? Doritos. I'm starting from the middle so that way we can establish the most important bunkers first, and then you will see why I'm going to start to the back right after. So we have familiar shapes like Dorito, right? That's going to be our Dorito. So we're going to call that Dorito. Right. These fields are so much shorter, you may just have just the one Dorito or maybe another one on the field, but that's not going to be the case here. A lot of paintball layouts are going to have at least several Doritos, or maybe just about 3 to 5 or whatever. In this case, some people are actually going to name it D1. Right? It's going to be easier for people to understand. It's a little bit easier to communicate that more efficiently and quickly enough so that way people can understand where somebody else is at in the field. This entire sport is fast-paced, so you want to try to make it easier for everyone on the field. You got your D1 here, and that's just going to be your main bunker, right? This entire side here is already going to be the Dorito side. So, with that being said, this corner is going to be your Dorito corner.
Hey, Dorito corner! That's the Dorito corner!
And some other people have their own callouts like back left, back right. That all depends on whoever's playing what. It might be easier for somebody else to say, hey, it's the Dorito corner. This is the way I've been doing it with my boys. It's just easier for us to understand. These two Doritos here, it's going to be the most familiar with a lot of people. I mean, there's two Doritos on each side with a smaller bunker in the middle. A lot of people like to call that castle. Castle, because I mean, it looks like a castle, right? So some people like to say house, some people like to say Dorito 50, or whatever that might be. For now, we're just going to call it castle. So it's not going to be too hard for everybody. Moving away from the D side, I'm going to go ahead and go to somewhere where it's a little bit more familiar on the layout here. Some of you guys can already decipher what this is. If you played already, you heard a lot of people on the field just kind of use the name for it. Because of these bunkers that are conjoined, a lot of people see a snake shape within it, and you see my snake there. It kind of makes sense, right? Because you see that the bunkers are connected together. It is one whole piece. It's pretty much getting you down low on the floor with these little bunkers that you have to crawl around and, you know, try to avoid getting shot from. Some snake bunkers in SpeedQB or other airsoft will have multiple bunkers along the snake, but for now, for convenience sake, this right here, I mean, you guys already seen how I did the Dorito call out. We're gonna call it Snake 1.
Snake 1. That's it.
Alright, so we got our Snake 1, right? So sometimes some people will call this one Snake 2. In my personal opinion, I like to call it Snake 50. Again, this is just all paintball based. It makes it easier. Why is it Snake 50? Well, you got a whole bunker that's going to equal 100. Of course, you got the middle bunker here that's going to be that half. So thus 50, right? Hopefully that makes sense, because it's just the most basic callouts that you guys can understand with bunkers. Now that we established the snake side, you already know what this one's going to be called, and we got the snake corner. Easy, right? I mean, simple to understand. Look at that. We already have half of the field already named. We'll go ahead and just move on the middle section here with this bunker. Obviously, it's pretty easy to kind of name because it's the shape of an X and it's in the center. So we're going to call it the center X. Not too many people go here unless you're going to get the flag, but the center X is going to be easier for people to understand. And like I said, you guys can make up your own names. Some people have like Florida or Jumanji or whatever call out you guys want to name it. It's all up to you. Those are just this is just the most basic call out for now. And the reason being for naming it something different is so that the other team doesn't know what you're saying or where your guy's at or where you're trying to call out. Center X, obviously the other team's going to decipher like, oh, okay, we've got guys going over there. Hey, let's just get some heads just to watch in that direction or whatever that might be. So you might give away your position that way. But naming it in such a different way where they're not able to understand, but it makes it for you guys easier to understand, is going to be more beneficial. I think this is the most easiest one to say because this is considered the home. Why is this considered the home bunker? Well, because we have a lot of people that go right away, straight off the break into this bunker, and I feel like is the most safest area to do callouts, to do shooting from, and just to kind of camp if needed. Alright, awesome. So it looks like we already got more than half of the layout filled out. So back out of the layout just a bit here. So I hope you guys kind of understand how to make those bunker callouts and names for the bunkers. Like I said, it doesn't have to be this way specifically. It's just paintball based, but you can name it to whatever the hell you want. And it's going to be easier for you guys to understand once you guys get the practice down and everything, and understand the field layout. And of course, always understand that the layout is always going to change. Kill count is always going to be the most important thing that I tell a lot of guys, like, hey, how many guys did you take out? Because I can't see it. Because what if I'm over here and another guy right here takes out these two guys or whatever, and I don't know that, and I'm just still going to be stuck there. This guy can, you know, use that to his advantage and take us out. It's all communication, guys. That's all it comes down to. So we got to have that understanding on the field. If this guy, for example, takes out this dude right here, I want him to let me know, and the way he can usually do that is going to be kill 1, right? Or if he takes out this other guy, kill 2, easy, right? That makes me understand, like, hey, okay, both our guys are out. It's us 3 versus this last guy. We can send this guy over here. We can send this guy right there, or whatever it might be. We already have the kill 1, right? Kill 2. etc. And however many you guys are on the field, kill 3, 4, 5, whatever. What helps a lot too is if, say, our home player takes out this Dorito player, he's gonna say kill 1 at Dorito corner. Simple enough, right? It relays that information not just to me, but the rest of the boys on the field on our team. It lets us understand, like, okay, cool, Dorito corner's out, maybe even the home player's out. We can actually have this guy move up on his own if he wanted to, and I could communicate that to us, like, okay, hey, we got to protect, you know, such and such over here. Let's go ahead and lane this dude in. This guy can potentially just move up to here, and it'll just be a smooth play. Like I said, boys, communication is key. It makes it easier for us to understand what's happening on the field. Again, this is just the most basic call-outs that anybody can do. You got the names of the bunkers, you got the kill counts. Of course, that's always going to be there. And like I said, it's going to be easier for you guys to understand. The more you practice it, the more you do it on your own. You could even do it on the rec field and just kind of murmur it to yourself or whatever that might be. This is essential to being successful on competitive airsoft. You guys have seen my other video recently where I had a kill count where I said 33 or 45. It's a little bit easier for us to understand for people who are already gotten to the habit of playing, you know, or have that experience of being on the field. Say you guys have 3-on-3, right? Just for the sake of example, you guys come off the break. Me and my boys usually call out the amount of people that are already on the field right off the bat. As soon as everyone gets to the bunkers, right off the bat, we already call it off, because sometimes you guys can get people off the break when they're trying to go to their bunker and they get out immediately. But if everyone's still on the field, say it's 3v3, we're gonna call it 33. And why 33? Well, let me say the first number here is pretty much our team. That's all 3 guys on the field. The second number being the enemy team, so on and so forth. You guys are probably already getting the hang of this, right? If I take out a guy here, that's going to be 32. If I take out another guy here, that's going to be 31.
Get out! Get out! Corner! That's field 2! 53!
Now, say, of course, this guy takes out this guy. What is that going to leave us with right now on the field? That's going to put us at 21. I hope that's easier for you guys to understand. 21 being our 2 guys on the field with this guy still out there. It's easier for us to understand, and it's a little bit harder for newer teams to kind of pick that up, but this is just our call out for now. A lot of people like to use it because it's more efficient, it's more easier than just kill 1 at the Dorito corner, because you're not spending so much time out there trying to relay that information. That when you guys get out there on the field, you guys can have this in the back of your mind, practice it, just get into the habit of it, eat, sleep, breathe it, whatever you got to do, just so that way you guys and the rest of your boys on the team can get used to doing call outs. Let me know what you guys think in the comments for this whole situation here. It becomes fairly easy to understand once you guys get used to it, but over time you guys will start forming your own plans, your own call outs, or whatever. If you guys have any recommendations or comments, please leave it, you know, in the section below, because I'd love to help out you guys. I know I get a lot of questions here and there, especially on the field, off the field, through my DMs, whatever that might be, and I hope this helps you guys. But with that being said, I will see you guys on the next video.